Hey everybody, welcome back to Ogre Speed Shop. And yes, you read that right. I am using Ford parts to build my GMC. Let's get into it so you can see what I'm talking about. We're on a little field trip this morning and we're heading to the junkyard because we need to figure out a way of putting gas in the 70 GMC. So one of the filler necks I've noticed works or will work is the one for the S10. So if I can find an S10 or an old Ford, like 90s Ford, they have them. So basically looking for something that goes into an in-frame tank. So that's some options. So we're gonna look at the junkyard, see what we find. That's per my norm. I forgot to record while I was at the junkyard. I just like to get in and get out and be done. This is what I came up with. This is out of a 90s Ford, like F250 that has the rear tank. And I cut it all the way out so I can have the door and everything. So it's going to modify my bed to be able to put this in there to run down to the tank. So I've got a 2-inch piece of fuel hose, a reducer, and then I got another piece of this size that's on the tank right now. It's actually a little tight on this and a little loose on that, but it'll work fine once I get it clamped on. So that's where we're at, and this already has the built-in vent and everything. So should work out pretty good. I gotta get fuel in this thing so I can drive it again. So this is the setup I have so far. This is way too long, by the way. But right now I got it marked right here in the bed where I'm gonna be cutting the clearance for this to fit in there. So I'm gonna just gradually cut through and work my way to where it fits up against here. So hopefully it doesn't interfere with this. I think I can make it work without doing that, but we'll see. So I just got ahead of myself and didn't feel like recording anything. So that's what the hole looks like in the bedside now. But if you look at the door, it's got to do some trimming. That'll be ready to be welded in. So we'll have a nice filler door. And the tubing will be something we got to work on because I got to shorten stuff and lengthen stuff, and that'll go on there. But yeah, just lots of trimming, cutting, and whatnot, and I'll have to fill in pieces when I'm done. But other than that, yeah, we're gonna have a filler door pretty soon, and we can actually put gas back in the truck. And I also found out there's a wasp nest already after a couple days on top of the tank. I hate these wasps. All right, so we got the new door all tacked in. Now we just gotta do the hose. That way, if I need to cut it out, I can. But it's all pretty flush and everything else can be filled, so I ain't too worried about it. And so we're gonna fill the holes in those too. I'm gonna use a different method of doing that. But yeah, this is coming along now. Pretty soon I'll be able to put gas in it. Well, that was kind of a pain in the butt because there's really tight quarters in there. So I got the filler neck in and everything's hooked up and tightened down. So next test will be to put some gas in it, make sure it doesn't leak. Put some gas in her, put the cap on her, fired her up already because she hasn't had gas in her for a little bit. So now fires right up and no leaks back here. I do need to run a vent hose still. This filler neck's actually vented, so I ain't too worried about it. But I do have the flip over valve and all that stuff for it. Just gotta put it on the one vent line coming out of the pump. But yep, we got gas in her again. Maybe I can smoke out some of these damn wasps. But we're back and running. And we can always add more fuel if we want to now. So now all I gotta do is go in and finish up the welding on this and then come up with an idea to cover all this. So it shouldn't take much. So just like I can even do a triangle. I'd be fine with just doing a triangle down to cover it. I'll probably redo this piece here. That way it'll be a smaller piece. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I need to get in here and finish welding this. And because I'm impatient, I wanted to make sure I could put gas in it. And I did. So, but now I gotta weld all this and there's possible gas fumes around. But I went and took, I actually used a lighter and didn't have any fumes that way. I know it's stupid to do, but at least it tested good. Then I wrapped a wet rag around the filler neck. So I'm gonna get in here and finish welding this now. And my wife said I should keep it like that, but I'm like, I'm not too big on that. But she thought it looked kind of cool, just rough and whatnot like that. But I'm not into that. I'm gonna clean it up and finish it. So like I've said 100 times, don't do what I do. This isn't the how-to. This is how I do it too. Okay, so just be careful if you do something like this. So if you don't see this video, I guess you wouldn't know. But anyways. All right, I got that all done. And remember, don't do what I do. This is just how I do it, but you gotta be careful, especially around gas and fumes. I got the fan blowing this way to kind of take fumes away. Got the air hose up here. I got a water bottle. So I was prepared. The only thing I don't have is a fire extinguisher. I need to get a couple of those for the shop, but there's no OSHA regulations for private owned property, so I don't care. But I do want some for protection because there's still stuff in here that can burn even though it's an all metal building. But yeah, we got her done. So I just gotta grind her down and then we can start on filling these holes. All right, so we got that all ground down and primered with some self-etching primer. Take the light off of it so it's not so obvious how bad it is. Still gotta do body work. So I'm not too worried about the way it looks right now. I just wanna make sure it's protected from the metal, or the metal is protected from the weather. So now we're gonna start on making the patches for these. And they should be the same, hopefully. So it should be pretty easy. And I'll show you how we're gonna do that. Make it a little bit easier to weld it in. All right, let's figure out what size of panels we need to make here. So these are about 6.5 by about 6. 6.5 by 6. Let's see if the other side's the same size. The stupid wasp is flying around still. Oh, I'm getting tired of those things already. We just started summer. Yep, 6.5 by about 6. So now I gotta get up there and get the my 18 gauge out of there. All right, so I got this piece made right here. I just used the piece I cut out from back there. Oh, these wasps. I could use that piece I cut from there and trimmed it down to fit this one. And I started making this one. You see how I put the edge around it? Well, the bed's too thick for me to do that, so I'm just gonna cut that off and just butt weld it on that side. So this side's gonna be ready for burning in, and then I just gotta trim this side down and make it fit. I got this side almost completely burned in, the other side's tacked in. My regulator keeps freezing up from the CO2, and so I gotta figure that out. But what kills me is the way you prevent it is to heat it, right? It's 100 degrees in here right now, so why is it freezing now? But anyways, I guess they make a special regulator for pure CO2, and maybe I should look into getting one of those. But I should probably get a new welder before I do that. But you know, it's working good enough. I gotta finish this one up, and I gotta go over to that side, finish that one up, and do the fuel filler door on the cab at 1.2. So, but yeah, we're getting closer to getting this thing sealed up. All right, so that one is completely welded in. Just got to grind them down now. This one is welded in. So now we got to work on this and filling that hole. So the one thing that this shows us is the original color of the truck. So that's definitely a dark green, forest green, which, you know, makes me really think this was definitely a forestry vehicle of some sort. You can see the color on the bed here too, and around where it had the trim. I gotta look into see about getting replacements for that. But anyway, so we're gonna use the old tried and true tape method by covering it with tape and then cutting it out that way and using that as a template. So basically what the tape method is just covering the hole with the tape, you know, thicken it up a little bit so you have a nice thick template to go off of. I make it kind of thick so it kind of keeps its shape. All right, I think 5 layers should be more than enough. So now I'm just gonna go in there and just cut it out from out here. It's a really sharp knife. I need my glasses, I can't see nothing right now. There you have it, nice little template. I messed up a little bit up here, but once we make it round up there, it'll be fine. So we can use that, or we can peel this off and use this part. So now what we do is take our pattern, either one of them, and get it unstuck from the other one. God dang it. Wow, they like to stick together good, don't they? God dang. And you stick it on there and trace her out. Probably doing a lot of flap disc grinding on this to get it out to shape it, but I don't have any shears or anything like that to be able to cut it out. Plus it's 18 gauge, and I don't know if I could use those or not. Maybe I try a pair of cutters, I don't know. But I think just a cut off wheel is my best bet. All right, we got that piece made. Got to do some tapping on it, but overall it's flush with the outside, so just got to tap it in a little bit there once I get some tack welds on it. So all I have to do is clean it up around there and move some stuff out of the way so I don't burn nothing. And get that thing welded in there. All right, we got that piece all burned in now. So we just got to grind her down and make her smooth. Try to blend her as good as we can. Hopefully it didn't turn out too flat. Sorry it's a little loud right now, I got the fan going, but got that side, that filler done now. It's a little flat. I could probably bring it out from the inside a little bit. But overall, I don't think it looked too bad. And like I said, we still got to do body work, so I think it'll turn out pretty good. So I'm going to throw some primer on it and call it a day on that one and start working on these ones. Well, that pretty much completes the outer portion of filling in the holes. So I got the new filler neck back there. All the old ones are filled now. That one's done now too. So I think the only thing I got left to do, which I've been putting off for some reason, is this little patch panel down here for the kick panel. So might do that real quick. So I know I talked about getting that stupid rocker or the kick panel sealed up, but realized I got to take the fender off to get to that now. So I should have waited on that. And another wasp. So instead of that, I started on this. Started sealing up the bed, putting all the pieces back that I cut off, and get them all sized up. And then once I get all that put back in, I'll make just a little cover for the rest of that will seal everything up. So should be good to go after that. Just to protect that too, you know, I'm just gonna do a little triangle, like TP type of thing. So, but that's what I'm working on now. So I think it's time to put this puzzle back together. You can see I got everything wrapped in wet rags, so hopefully no fumes. But again, don't do what I do. Tacked in. I still got one more piece that's going to go on, but it kept falling off, so like dropping down. But I have it tacked, self-tappered in there, and so I can put it in there and adjust it. But I had to get that first piece in there first. So that's where we're at right now. Is got all that in there. I go through the finish welding, all that, grind it down. Typical thing I've been doing with everything else. And then we got to build that cage that goes over top of it to protect it from anything that gets thrown in the bed. I got that area as cleaned up as it needs to be. I mean, it is a truck bed, so it doesn't really matter. So now I'm gonna build a cover for it. Just try to decide what thickness I want to use. I think I got 16 and 18 gauge up there. And I might do the 16 gauge because it's a truck bed, you know, to help protect it a little bit more. So let's get that out and see what we can make. So I think what we're gonna do for this is make a template. I'll use this poster board here, because that way I can put it all together, tape it together, and fold it out, and then make it out of one piece of metal, and then fold the metal so it becomes one piece basically. So that's what we're gonna work on to do in here. So let's get a measurement about how wide we need to be. Go on each side of it, at least a 1/4 inch on each side. So 7, it's like 7 and a, yeah, 7 and a, so 7 exactly for the width. For the height, we'll shoot for 8.5. So what did I say this was? 7 by 8.5? Yeah, 7 by 8.5 for the first piece. All right, so there's our first piece. That's gonna be our main cover piece. And I forgot to add in for the tabs because we need something to attach to the bed on both sides. So I'm gonna add an inch on each side of the, or on each end of this. So 2 more inches. So we're gonna be at 10.5 inches at that point. That way we have an inch of mounting material for it. And now we gotta do sides, figure out the side sizes. Okay, and that distance at the bottom is 3.5. So 3.5 by whatever the length that is, which is 8.5. I'm gonna make those real quick. All right, so here's the first part of our template. I'm just gonna fold these over. And that should cover our area. Got clearance a little bit. There's a little lip right here. Got the clearance. But other than that, I think that'll work pretty good. So I just need to add tabs here on each side here and on the top. And, well, probably down the sides too. So I'm going to add some tabbing here, 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 here on all 4 sides, or all 6 sides. So probably do maybe 1/2 inch rather than an inch. I think an inch is going to be too much. There we have it. I wanted to use this, I believe it's 16 gauge steel to do that cover plate because it's a little thicker and it'll be a little more protection for that area. But I wasn't sure if my Harbor Freight 36-inch bender here could do it, or 30-inch bender, whatever that is, 30-inch. So I just decided to do a test piece, and you can see right there, it bent, you know, what, 18 inches worth? And none of the bends are gonna be that big, so we should be able to get it done. So I'm gonna bring the template over here and set it up and cut her out. All right, so you can see I got the template laid out here. So now I just got to trace it out and then cut her out. And then we can bend her up. It's also the reason why I use the tape for the tab, because it allows you to hold it down in your workpiece, which you're transferring it to. So now I can trace it out and it'll be perfect. And there we have our trace out. Kind of looks like a Star Wars plane or something, a Star Wars fighter. Quit glaring. There we go. All right, we got that made. Like 10 revisions later, it finally fits. So I'll probably, I don't know, should I weld it in? Maybe. Welding it would probably be all right. At least tacking it in, I don't know. All I can say is going to protect without any problems. That's a pretty solid piece of metal there, so should be good to go on that. So it's welded in. I just kind of welded in a couple places. And I only weld it to the bed side, because that way, if I ever want to take the bed apart, I still can, because it's only 2 bolts and I can still get to them. So, and I'm not going to show you the welds because they're really ugly. I don't know what's going on with my welder, but it's not working. So, but it's on there and it'll protect the filler neck. So that's all that matters. There we have it. Because I actually found some more self-etching primer. I also sprayed it with some of the like terracotta color too, so it kind of blends a little better that way. But anyways, that part's done. All right, so now we got the part to fill the tank with. We got all the holes patched from the old fuel system on both sides. So that's gonna do it for that, for this install. So yes, I used Ford parts to build my GMC. You know, that's part of customizing and building custom cars and trucks. Just gonna finish up this video on doing a filler neck for the 1970 GMC using Ford parts. So if you like this video, leave a like down there, leave me a comment, let me know what I can do better, and subscribe while you're at it. What the heck, it's free. And I just want to say I appreciate y'all for being here this long. So until next time, I will see y'all later.